Hi everyone, it's Nina. So I I have had basically no sleep and I feel kind of sick, but I was like dying to make a video today, so that's what we're gonna do, and hopefully I won't sound too crazy and it will work out fine. So today I'm doing the Perfect Pairs tag by Lisa Pepez. I think this is pretty old. Is it okay to do old tags? I think it is, but I don't know. I'm new to this. But yeah, I'm doing the Perfect Pairs tag today by Lisa Pepez. A few ground rules I set for myself for this one. I'm gonna focus on stuff that's in print, first of all. Nothing too obvious. Like, I didn't want to do pairs from the same artist because that kind of feels too easy, and I wanted to kind of challenge myself a little bit. This is not a comprehensive list. I'm sure there are, I mean, everything looks good together and everything works well together ultimately, so I'm not really worried too much about that. But I'm mostly looking at aesthetic pairings because I feel like you can read anything with anything if you really want to. Yeah, I think those are the only rules I have set in place. And also, you should follow me on Instagram if you want to see more pairings, because I'm going to be posting a lot more. I mean, as I have been. So, yeah, if you want to see more cool stuff from my collection on there, you can follow me. Okay, let's get started. So I know I literally just said I wasn't going to do anything too obvious, and these are not by the same artist, but they work so well together that they might, like, it's too good. So my first pairing is the Dirt Gems Oracle and the Botanica Tarot. So both of these are pretty new to my collection. The Botanica I just got a couple of days ago. But I really like them both. I realized I had a serious deficiency in plant decks, like I think I said before, which bothered me because I really like plant decks. And these are the ones that I've picked up recently, so they're so good together. You're about to see. I mean, it's kind of, is it cheating? Like, is it too obvious? You can tell me, but you know, they've both got the black background, you know, they've both got pretty saturated colors. I think they look really good together, and it's just like total eye candy, right? I feel like this whole deck, especially like the vividness of the colors, the saturation is just like total eye candy. Oh, we're like in a, yeah. For a second I was like, is this not shuffled? So I feel like this is just perfect, like the perfect combination of plant decks. Really similar saturation and color scheme. I really like this kind of contrast between what feels like a more modern art style and this kind of like really delightful and endearing like folk style. I love this kind of thing, and I think it works super nicely together. There's a little bit of overlap between the plants that are being mentioned in both of these decks, but there's not as much as you'd think, which is really nice. Although it'd be pretty cool if you pulled like the same one from each. That would be a pretty powerful message. I also really appreciate how the Botanica Tarot is really rooted in mythology and folklore and history. Like, you can see in the little guidebook, you can kind of read about all of the different vessels or the different types of wands or whatever else that are being illustrated and shown in a lot of the cards, and I really like that because it kind of shows that link between, you know, like, plants aren't existing in a vacuum, they're not just chilling on their own, like there's all this cultural stuff going on that's attached to it, and that has you know, really affected how it's perceived and how it is used, really. But yeah, I mean, this pairing, need I say more? It's I think probably the most obvious one of all of the pairings I'm going to show you today, but I can't not include it. I mean, it's just so beautiful. Such a perfect pairing, and both of these decks are just, I'm in a plant mood right now. which maybe is weird as it's about to be winter, but I'm in California, so seasons aren't real. Anyway, I can focus on them whenever I want. I got the dirt gems with the gold gilding. They mixed the batches together, so you can't choose whether you get the gold gilding or the copper gilding, which is kind of sad because I thought I would prefer the copper gilding. I think I would be fine with either. I kind of like that these match too. The backs are, they're fine. I don't know. So there's that. So yeah, this is a really, really cool pairing that I'm super happy that I did. I'm gonna keep dirt gems out because I have another deck that it looks really good with, and if you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen it. Actually, you've already seen both of these first ones, but they're just so good. I want to look at them more. So Slavic Legends Tarot looked really good with this deck. Gosh, so many beautiful cards. These are like my favorites right now, I think. Slavic Legends Tarot, I already gushed about it, I think, in my last video, but I mean, there's a really close connection between plant lore and Slavic folklore. Obviously, I think in most cultures there is that really close connection, but these feel like they're speaking the same language. They feel like they are both, really, really, obviously, this is a very, like, connected to nature kind of deck. So these just work so well together. The black borders work really nice together. This is just, it's just beautiful. I'm really, really enjoying this pairing also. I think this is one, like, this has, like, been my daily draw for the past few days. I think for, like, the past week. Like, my official daily draw. And I really love it. I think they are such a perfect match color-wise, and again, this deck feels pretty ancestral, and the illustrations are really, like, speak to the kind of relationship that I want to cultivate with my own heritage and with, plants. So it's really cool. I love this pairing a lot. It's maybe my favorite that we have here today. I don't know. I'm gonna say that about every single one because I was, like, really excited about all of these. And so the next one also uses the Slavic Legends Tarot. I'm not doing this for every deck where, like, I have multiple pairings for each one, but I've been using the Slavic Legends a lot, so I feel like I'm noticing, more connections with it. So the Super Oracle and the Slavic Legends Tarot is a pairing that I really like, that I have not used yet, but this one kind of feels like cheating because I think the Super Oracle kind of goes with everything, just because it's this sort of classic art style that works really well. But still, I think there's something especially resonant with the way the line work is done in both of them that really works well together. The sort of really detailed pen and ink drawings look really good together. This looks good with everything, and arguably so does this one. You can, I think, make a case for a lot of different combinations, but I think this one's especially resonant. I feel like the keywords in the Super really jive with what's being addressed in the Slavic Legends Tarot, so I'm really into this one. Yeah, it's a nice one. Oh my gosh, my cards are always so flipped around, I'm sorry. But yeah, that's another really great pairing. I'm gonna move it along because I feel like I could just stare at it forever. So another really beautiful one that I enjoy that is also kind of classically influenced is the Edmund Duloc with the Supra, and with one more, with the Hellenic Oracle. I'm gonna do like a three-way thing here, and we're gonna see how that turns out. The Edmund Duloc Tarot is a relatively new addition to my collection, and I'm so happy that I have it. I love these backs. I think I should make I'm going to at some point, my favorite backs video, because I think this would definitely be on there. I love this. But yeah, I think these three also are kind of classically influenced. They feel historical. I mean, they kind of are. They're all really historically influenced. So it's kind of a no-brainer in a way, but I think the way these colors mesh is really beautiful too. How about we do the super in the middle, since it's kind of the standout with the black and white colorway. Yeah. I really like the Edmund Duloc because another thing I'm really into is historical fashion, and I'm really into the historical fashion that you see all throughout the Edmund Duloc. You know, the kind of Victorian, but also across many different countries, I feel like you see that inspiration, and it's really cool to see. Like, I love the gowns in this deck. It is exciting to me. But yeah, I think this is a really classic combination with classic artwork. I'm really into it. I don't know, not much to say about this one because is it too obvious? I don't know. But if you have any combination of these decks, you should try reading with them because they're all very like contemplative, and I don't know, get you kind of feeling in this classy mood, which I like a lot of the time. So that is that little triad there that I really like. Okay, another really good one, and this is the Ritual Tarot, and this is the Sacred Symbols Oracle deck. And this is one that I think works well because of that really nice contrast that they have with each other. This is a perfect pair because I feel like the Ritual Tarot has so much to say, and Sacred Symbols is so clear and succinct. This is the new mass market edition, by the way. It's really nice. The Ritual Tarot has so much to say, and it, I think, really benefits from this focus that the Sacred Symbols gives it. Yeah. I'm really into this combination. I think they're balancing each other out really well. Not that I think either of them are lacking or doing anything wrong, but I feel like this is just such a perfect balance that's being achieved. The colors are really resonant. Like, I feel like this looks really beautiful together. Look at that, that's perfect. 10 of Cups with Soulmate. Yeah. I think this is one I've only used once, this combo, but I'm going to use it more. I think it makes the Ritual Tarot almost more accessible. It feels very esoteric, very ancient, very sacred, and these symbols kind of help bring some clarity. And I also think that there's a lot of these symbols in this deck that you see like within the cards of the Ritual Tarot, which is kind of fun to search for. So yeah, I'm really excited about doing this one more. This deck is so versatile. This is another one that obviously will go with everything because it's so universal. But another combination that I love with it is with the Clowntown Tarot. Oh my god. I'm so obsessed with this deck. This tin it's like big for it, but I also had bought the Clowntown playing cards, which are these. So they fit together perfectly. I'm gonna line this box and put ribbons in it so that they'll like be nestled together super perfectly. So the Clowntown Tarot, I think it arrived the day after I made my Good Mood Decks video, and I should have waited because this is like at the top of that list. It is so good. So this is a Marseille inspired deck. It's on Make Playing Cards, and it's so good. I'll raise the cards up to you since they're pretty small so you can see them. The pips are illustrated, as you can see, so it's taking Marseille influence, but oh my god, it's just so delightful. And again, these two are such a good combination because, you know, like I said before, I feel like Marseille decks are really succinct. So you know, there's that contrast that you get with the Ritual Tarot, but here they're on the same wavelength. They're both speaking in pretty straightforward terms, which I really like, and it just makes them really accessible. And the colors are so good together. So each suit in the Clowntown Tarot has like a different kind of clown. And the illustrations are so charming and make me so happy. This is like a top favorite right away. I'm just so into it. And I feel like these bright colors are so cheerful and are so perfect together, and you know, the sacred symbols doesn't take away the star of the show. It doesn't drown out the star of the show, which is the Clowntown Tarot. It's so good. So you can see like the wands, the batons have tramp clowns, and the coins have cowboy clowns, western clowns. It's just so good. It delights me. This is me because roller skates, obviously. But yeah, this combo is so cute. I'm really excited about it, and I can't wait to use both of these more together because this is a perfect pair, in my opinion. So cute. Doing this tag really made me realize how there are some tarots that I really don't have a match for. Not that I necessarily need one, but I think I really have a type. And then there are some decks in my collection that are so unlike everything else that I really struggled to find something to match with them. So that was an interesting experiment. Like the Clowntown Tarot, I feel like is very unique. And so it really benefits from having something super simple to go with it. And this tin is so cute. Yes, such a good mood deck. And so are the playing cards. They're super cute as well. So the next combination is, what should I do next? How about this? How about this behemoth? This is a weird deck, and I think some people might be intimidated by trying to find a pair for it, but I actually think that the shape makes it really well suited to having other cards like framing it in a way, so I'll show you that in a second. This deck feels really scientific, kind of. I mean, it's inspired by alchemy, so that would make sense. But that is kind of why I think it would look really good with the Materia Prima by Usi and the Intuitive Night Goddess, not for the scientific reason, but just for the fact that it's a pretty black, colorful deck that will look really nice. And I feel it will ground the sort of intellectualness of these other two decks. Materia Prima is I think my partner's favorite oracle that I have. He's a chemist man. He's really good at chemistry. And the whole shtick of Materia Prima, oh my god, someone shuffled this all wrong. How depressing. It wasn't me, I swear. The whole premise of this deck is that it's elements of the periodic table, and I feel like that really lends an interesting perspective to the wild unknown alchemy. And I think it would be so cool to look at these decks together and sort of to create a pattern. I don't really have space on this table, but it would be cool to sort of have them go like this and surround the deck. Like, I think you could do some really interesting, like, almost sacred geometry, right? Yeah, definitely the Intuitive Night Goddess and the Wild Unknown Alchemy are speaking the same language. Oh my gosh, this is so terrible. They're speaking the same language. They're also really feel similar in terms of cardstock. I forget if they're by the same publisher, but I think this is like a very, like, this is not a pairing that you're pulling out for a quick morning reading. Like, this is study, this is intense. You know, you've got this sort of intellectual, literally scientific, and then, you know, sort of allegorical science here that you're examining that I think is pretty interesting. And I thought I wouldn't use the Materia Prima a lot, but I actually do. My male friends really like it, interestingly enough. I'm just going through this one, I just realized. Yeah, my male friends really like it. And again, it's another really classical deck, but I think the black in it really ties with the other two really well, beyond just the fact that the subject matter that it talks about feels really similar. Yeah, this is a kind of a chaotic combination, but I think it's really cool. Here, I'll show you what I was talking about with this one. But I'm sort of thinking of doing it like, you put this out like this, and then you could do an arrangement like this as like a focus. I forget if maybe the guidebook actually in Wild Unknown Alchemy talks about this, and I'm just forgetting. I think it talks about it just in combination with other cards from the deck, but I think it looks really cool like this as well, right? Like, I don't know, I think that's a really interesting experiment. Maybe I'll try to write a spread for this and test it out. But yeah, that's a cool combination, definitely. Okay, next I have the She-Wolf Tarot with the Heavenly Bodies Astrology. So I think both of these decks are a color scheme that feels really not like alien or unfamiliar, but it's definitely not something I would expect myself to like, beyond the fact that this one is really 70s, which I love, and this one is beautiful mixed media, which I also love. I love both of these decks, they're beautiful, but I think they're very unlike other things in my collection. They're quite modern and quite appealing to modern aesthetics, and I usually like things that are a little bit ugly or that are like a little bit, I mean, I have a lot of beautiful decks, but I like things that feel more grounded than both of these feel. And I put this one in order recently because I wanted to do a side-by-side with the Thoth deck, but I really like them both. I'm into it, and these decks are sort of really, they feel like they're taking ancient concepts and making them modern, you know? These are both really, again, they feel kind of too cool for me, but I'm working on it. I think it's not intimidating me from using them. And I think I just need to kind of sink into and embrace this sort of just crazy, fun, colorful, pink, pastel vibes that I'm not usually drawn to. But I like this. Very cosmic, you know, both of them. They're both dealing with space, but I think the colors and the design language are different, but they get along really well. Yeah, I really like this one. And I kind of use this one as a general oracle. I don't really, I mean, I could use it for actual astrology stuff, but I just like it because it's pretty, and the keywords are actually quite universal and useful, so that makes it really nice. Because I feel like there's a tendency, I've noticed, this is my only astrology deck, but with people with astrology decks, is that it's hard to figure out how to use them or to get past the fact that it's an astrology deck. But this one I feel like is very usable beyond that. And one of these days, I haven't yet, I'll have to arrange like my chart with these and look at that, but that's for another time. Yeah, these decks are unusual for me, but I like them both, and this gilding is so pretty. Yes. Okay, so one more with the She-Wolf, and I think this is a cool combo that I'm definitely going to use. The She-Wolf with the Visionary I Ching cards. This is going to take a lot of space up on your table, both the She-Wolf and the I Ching. I think the I Ching might be my biggest deck. Oh my gosh, but it's so beautiful. So again, I'm thinking of both of these because of the pastel colors, but I think that the I Ching lends a really beautiful and interesting darkness, but it doesn't feel out of place here. Yeah. This deck is really, I mean, it's not really practical in terms of its size, but I think it's a very practical, like, I Ching oracle, and these images are really beautiful. They're also pretty erotic, like, I swear I'm not just saying that. Like, if you look at a lot of the images, there's like some stuff going on, you know? And obviously I should have put a nudity warning, I'm sorry. There's nudity in this deck, and in one other deck that I'll be showing soon. But they both kind of have this sort of sensual quality that gets along super well. I'm really excited to use these two together also. This is an unusual one, but I think they're different enough that it's maybe unexpected, but still works super well. But yeah, this is definitely a perfect pairing for me. Okay, the last one is nudity warning, okay? The Tarot de Femmes Erotiques and the Literary Witches Oracle. You could also put, I think, here the Memento Mori, and I think that would also work really well. I think I've said before, I think these are really similar in aesthetics. The Memento Mori, that is. I realized that I do not have that many vintage style oracles beyond the Memento Mori in this one, and that makes me think I should get at least one. I really, really love the Divine Muses Oracle, and I'd really, really love to get that one sometime. Nudity warning, like I said, for this one. This deck is so gorgeous and comforting to me. Is that odd? Again, like, I really love history, and I don't know, this deck is really empowering, obviously, but I don't know, it's just such a friendly deck, I feel like. And I also quite like these keywords. And the guidebook is also quite interesting to read, to see, like, why the choice was made to include certain images, I guess. And I think you can get quite a lot out of the expressions that the women have. That makes this a really interesting... It is like a novelty deck, but I don't really treat it as one. I take it very seriously, I guess. Seriously, as in, I listen to what it has to say. But it's still a pretty lighthearted and fun reader, I think. I definitely think the Divine Muses would look so good with this. I'm not talking about this very well. I mean, obviously the sepia tones have that in common. The women, they have that in common. I don't know, I think it speaks for itself. It's quite pretty. Yeah, I really like these two together. It's not, I don't think it's a perfect pair. I feel like, I don't know. I think I do like it. I haven't used this one. Oh wait, actually, have I? Maybe I have used this combo, actually. Can't remember. I think they're talking about a lot of the same things, and they're comforting in similar ways also. It's kind of nice to have this touch of, like, of very, you know, welcoming and friendly and conscious femininity. It's super nice. Yes, I like this combination. Okay. I was unsure for a second, but I've decided I like it. So therefore it's a perfect pair. So those are some of my perfect pairs. I think I would definitely like to make another one of these eventually, because it's kind of fun to dig through the collection and see what kind of unexpected things you can find that go well together. So maybe I'll do another one of these in the future. I think that's all I have for you today, and I hope you have a lovely day, and thank you so much for sticking around and hanging out with me for a little bit.